made this video because of how poorly Tabitha Brown is getting treated by the Food Network. Basically, it looks like they're trying to get her to dilute herself to make them feel more comfortable. Why did they hire her then? Why would anybody who has seen Tabitha Brown think you could put her in a box that she doesn't want to be in? But that's what they do. Corporate America has a long history of wanting to benefit from Black talent and force those talented individuals to assimilate rather than come to work as themselves. Well, fortunately, we got this thing called the Internet now, and if you want to have your own cooking show, you don't have to put up with any nonsense from people who don't respect your talents. And I'm going to show you how to do it using a couple of real-world examples of Black women who I've produced cooking shows for. Chef Jazz, owner of Green Panther Chef, graduated from culinary school and ran restaurant kitchens before starting her own catering business. We ran her cooking show out of her apartment.
So in the bottom of my cast iron pan, of course, I'm just going to add a little bit of our extra virgin olive oil. And like I said, we are doing a vegetable soup. And I start off on the bottom with just a little bit of garlic.
Sharon Burns, owner of RX Catering DC, did not go to culinary school before starting her catering business, and we run her cooking show out of her 4,400 square foot commercial kitchen. There is no right way or one way to be successful. If going to culinary school is your dream, then pursue that. If you just like to cook and you want to start a business, then do that. If you want your own cooking show, the only thing that's required is you have to be willing to put in the work. You don't need the Food Network or anyone else to give you a chance because you can build your own platform and showcase yourself. There's actually a lot of parallels between Sharon's journey and Tabitha's journey because this is the same old story for Black women in corporate America. Sharon built her catering business after leaving corporate America behind because of discrimination. Here's a little bit of Sharon's backstory.
They said, well, the numbers in your territory are a direct reflection of the reason why you were laid off. Well, how is that even possible? I just got the position less than 4 months. I think I was a district manager. And it takes a whole year for numbers in the pharma industry to cycle around to actually show a true reflection of the effort that one has put in. So were those my numbers? No, they weren't my numbers. But that was an excuse, I believe, in my opinion, to get rid of someone that was, one, performing, two, that was, maybe a threat to some people. And I mentioned before, my regional manager was African American, and he was let go. And then the young lady who took my position as the assistant regional manager, she was African American. She was let go. So how are all of the three of us all let go at the same time? I mean, I don't want to be the one that just comes out and says it, but we all looked alike. So right now I'm solo business owner, 13 years in operation. A lot of people doubt it. Especially coming from the pharmaceutical industry, my regional manager, the one that was laid off as well, he asked me for probably the first year, Sharon, are you sure you want to do this? You can get a job in the pharma industry. It's, with all the accolades that you had, I'm sure you can. It's no problem. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. And I was still bitter about, corporate company that I put my all into laying me off. So I said, I'm going to ride this as long as I can do it and see what happens. I could have gotten a job with anybody. Not to brag, it's not, we don't do enough bragging as women, but as African American women, I've learned that if we start bragging and tooting our own horn, then we're perceived as, she thinks she knows it all, or, So I will say that I could have gotten a job within, a month of being laid off. I just chose not to because I didn't know if I wanted to be in corporate America. And so here I am today. I have a staff of, right now it's a skeletons crew because of COVID, but I usually maintain about a staff of 13 to 15 people. And we do full service catering. You'd be amazed at some of you've used us and we appreciate the support and exposure that you've given RX Catering, but we've done things for the Prime Minister of India, 700 person vegetarian vegan spread, all types of receptions for the National Black NBA, Lockheed Martin. Big people that If you think someone that didn't know the industry work, starting off would have had this opportunity, it's amazing. I mean, I'm blessed, and I'm not going back to corporate America.
What's important to learn from what Tabitha Brown is experiencing is that there's nothing new to learn. If you're a Black woman who has worked in corporate America, then you already know how Black women are treated in corporate America. What you can learn from Tabitha, though, is that you can use the internet to build your own brand and create opportunities for yourself. She's on the Food Network because she put in the work to make the world know that she exists. You can do the same, but instead of putting the Food Network on your vision board, consider setting your big goal as hosting your own show on your own platform, like you see Sharon doing here.
So if you have skin on your salmon, go ahead and start off with the skin side up. Okay? We'll put that down. I had a little piece that I cut. Just a little baby one too. I'm going to sample that.
And since Sharon hosts her show on her own platform, not only does she get to run her show however she sees fit, she can host more than one type of show if she wants, and that's exactly what she decided to do. In addition to her cooking show, Sharon also hosts her own business talk show that specifically addresses the challenges faced by Black women in corporate America and as small business owners.
Hi, I'm Sharon Burns, owner and operator at Arts Catering, and we are here cooking with Sharon, the business chat.
And he said, "You want to be in business? Okay, I'll help you." And so he gave me a subcontract, and that is literally how I got started. And it's almost interesting because the first check that Adelson received, the first check that I got, I couldn't even cash it because I did not have a business checking account.
Oh my gosh.
It never even occurred to me to open one. I mean, that is, that should be high on your to-do list when you start a business.
What's the biggest misnomer as a leader, as a business owner, as a, someone who's running their own shop?
That you're going to have free time?
That you're going to have free time. You really don't, but you have to carve it out. You have to make time. This is why I'm on this self-care journey to be intentional. I came into 2022 saying, Jamesh, you got to be intentional.
Okay.
The support I had in the school system was phenomenal.
Okay.
I researched other places that had the cost of living was a little lower.
Right.
And when I would talk to them on the phone, the way in which they expressed their engagement with individuals with autism made me feel as though that wouldn't be a good move for my son. So I had to figure out a way to stay in this area so that he could stay in these schools and be able to live on my own as a single woman.
Right.
So he's the reason that I'm here.
Okay.
And then even to get the master's degree, I went back for a master's degree because it was in early childhood education. And I realized that it was very different than elementary and I wanted to be able to connect with my son. When I went back for the PhD, it was in early childhood special education because I wanted to be able to serve as an advocate for my son. So everything that I've done, all the blessings have come from him. So it really is something where I monetize motherhood. So I never walked away from being a mother. It was always the center, and all these other things were just arms of motherhood that I was now, selling as soft skills.
Okay. And as we started to get closer to the end of our 3-year lease, we went back and forth about whether or not this was something we wanted to continue. We had a lot of challenges along the way. We felt like we were growing really quickly in the beginning, and then it felt kind of stagnant for a while. We had a lot of personal challenges along the way that put us in a position where we were just kind of questioning whether or not this is something we needed to or wanted to continue.
So tell me a little bit, because I could probably have a movie. I'm sure you could have a movie and a book on business partners.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that would play a huge part in our, decision to not continue, because what we realized very quickly was that we were, even though we shared this vision in the beginning, we were in different places in our lives and in our careers when we started the venture. And that really impacted our ability to be successful as business partners, and just the business to be successful just in general, just because of the amount of time and dedication it took.
I'm single too.
Okay. Yep.
Single and looking. If there are any eligible guys out there, single and looking. I'm going to say she's not single and looking. She's single. No, she's not looking. Me first. I'm older. I get first dibs.
We're not starting this competition.
Really? No, it's not a competition.
No, I mean,
I'm the oldest. I win.
Okay.
By default. You have more time than I do. It's just math. It's math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, how do you balance the time?
But seriously,
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
And we
And a
may need
whole nother
stronger-
wine. Yeah,
I was about to say
something.
we need
Yes,
stronger
yes.
alcohol
Yes.
to have that discussion. Okay, so
So
I'm going to flash some images on screen so you can see the unbridled joy I get to witness when Sharon is in her happy place doing what she enjoys doing. Can you see that bright light radiating out of her? This is the kind of joy that you can get from your work if you put yourself in the right situation. Your life does not have to include dealing with microaggressions at work all day, every day from people who don't have a fraction of your talent and qualifications. Tabitha Brown has that same kind of bright light radiating out of her, as so many of you do. And it's ridiculous that she has to go through what she's going through at the Food Network because the powers that be don't respect her and what she brings to their platform. She's marquee talent, and they're not treating her that way, and we all know that it's because she's a black woman. And it's not just the Food Network. Look up Bon Appetit and the mess they created in their kitchen in 2020 because of racial discrimination. It's important for you to look at what people in the positions you covet are dealing with and ask yourself, do you really think you'd be treated any better if you were in that situation? If your dream is to have your own cooking show on the Food Network, do you really think you would get better treatment than Tabitha Brown is getting? And being real, now that Tabitha has checked the Black Woman Host box for the Food Network, do you really think they're going to let you have your own show too? So maybe consider setting a vision board goal for yourself that doesn't involve you standing on someone else's stage. Think about building your own stage where you have unlimited opportunity to host whatever kind of shows you want to host and lead whatever kind of conversations you think are important. What might you accomplish if you built a following of 10 or 20 or 100,000 people on a platform that you own? Just something to think about. We live in a time where you don't have to audition to be on someone else's stage just so they can disrespect you. You just have to know your worth and refuse to accept less and be willing to put in the work to build your own platform. When you're ready to do that, reach out to me. If you want to host your own cooking show, whether for fun or for freedom, that's something I can teach you how to do. You can get started right now if you want by completing my free 5-day Create Your Cooking Show Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge with one task per day that you can complete in 30 minutes or less, because I know you're busy. And when you're finished, you will have laid the foundation for creating a cooking show that you can build into a lifestyle business, just like Martha Stewart and B. Smith did, and Tabitha Brown did too. Sign up when you're ready to use your talents to create something better for yourself. You can start building your own stage right now in the comfort of your home. You have all the education and all the talent in the world. Now that we have the internet, corporate America needs you way more than you need it. You can take control of your life and create a better situation for yourself whenever you get ready.
This is great after a long day of work. This is great when you just want something like versatility in your salad and you want salad to be your main course. I absolutely adore this recipe. It's actually something that I learned in culinary school way back when. So just throw it on. It doesn't need to be super fancy. It just needs to be really good. And we do eat with our eyes, so as you see, sometimes I do take some time to plate. I'm just going to take some olives as well and just pepper those about. You don't want it to be like too much, of course. You just want to get the essence of. And then also some capers. Like I said, you can toss all of this.